Started off with a few glitches, but still learning how to use Be Live. Of course, got it from AppSumo. The deal is still available. I think the starting price is $59. But I'm learning. What I really miss about Zoom is my background. I feel like I work really hard on it, so yeah, I miss it. But we're going to start off with a demo of Spoke. Um, I preferred Perfect Recall, so I did not buy Spoke, but one of our other members, Thomas, bought it. He seems to like it, and he's really great at doing demo walkthroughs of programs. So our, I guess I could just skip that part and go straight to our first uh, topic: social media marketing. So what do you think of it? How do you do it? Is it beneficial? How do you know if it's beneficial? Things like that. Social media marketing. So, do you have a favorite platform? For me, is LinkedIn. Love it. My favorite thing about LinkedIn is the events. It has a LinkedIn event page. Um, yeah, I can share my screen with you. I could pull one up right quick and show you where to find it. So let's see, finding it now, or it says I'm looking for a share screen. Okay, so tab Chrome, LinkedIn. That's cool. It lets me pick the place I want to go to before I start sharing my screen. So I'm gonna make it bigger. I think. Is this full screen? Yes, still learning. Um, I think that's as big as it's gonna get. So another thing, I wish it would show me full screen and I can still have the access to the navigations. But anyway, LinkedIn events is right here. You hit the plus button. These show me all the events that I have hosted, and let's see, yeah, and the events that I have signed up for. So, oh yeah, the let's see, Standout Stars Week. This one I just made for Liz J. Springer. She is a video expert. She tells business owners how to use video to uh, on social media. So yeah, I guess I have stepped because I hadn't put any posts there. But when you start with a LinkedIn event, you get to put a banner, you get to put a picture, the title. Here, where it says join, I put her affiliate link, and I'm allowed to share to. I'm allowed to invite my connections, and people who join are allowed to share. And more is just report this event. But yeah, and you can start chats in here. I haven't done it either. Or create a poll. Haven't done it either. Yes, I'm very slacking when it comes here. And so far, 5 people have signed up for this event that I posted yesterday. So yeah, that's one great thing about starting a LinkedIn event, and that's one of my favorite social media marketing. So hide that. Um, let's see. Another one would be, I guess we can, if Thomas comes back, we can start over and get his thoughts on these. Let's see. Apple's opt-in into, that shouldn't be a space there. Apple's opt-in to tracking approach to Facebook and soon emails. So, thoughts and opinions on being able to opt in instead of opt out. Um, I think it's good if you don't want to be tracked, but that's what marketers do. And Me as a marketer, I'm just gonna find another way because every time some blocker comes up or some obstacle comes up, you go over, you go around, you go under. Yeah. So that's what we do. So I think that that's just my opinion on that. And like I said, when Thomas comes back, oh, another thing I like about Be Live, I just edited this. I saw that I had typed it wrong and I was allowed to fix it. So yay. Um, hmm. I guess I want to go into the rabbit hole questions because just one person's opinion on it. Yeah. Well, okay. So, well, social media marketing and strategies for email marketing. Um, oh yeah, that's a new one. Strategies for email marketing. Like last Friday, we were talking about long form email and short form. I am a big fan of a short form, maybe a paragraph at the most. Uh, give value, give one uh, call to action. If it's if you have more than one link for that call to action, it should be the same link going to the same place. Even if you have them named different things, they should all go to the same place because you don't want to give people too many choices because too many choices will result in no choice at all, leaving you hanging. So yeah, one choice, keep it short, let it be valuable. I like the emails I get where there's a short video or a short voice clip along with the words because if I don't have to read it, I'm not. And if it's short enough that I can read it, or let's say the words say something maybe a little different, like sometimes I write with my opinions instead of just the information I want you to have, like in quotation marks. So yeah, I do that sometimes. So even though I haven't wrote in a really long time to my email list, and I'm wondering if I can pick up without a beat or without missing a beat, or will they be like, "Who are you again?" And then I'll just have a bunch of unsubscribes. But you don't want to have people on your email list that don't want to be there because it messes with your open rates. It messes with click rates. Um, there's like a value score for people, how many people unsubscribe. You can also unsubscribe people from your list if you see that they're not opening your emails because that helps your open rate. See, if you have 1,000 people on your list and you purge 500 of them, but the other 500 opens every single one of your emails and it stays open for like 2 minutes, that's great. But like we said in the before question, where was it? That show. Oh, this came after that. I got lost in my my list. But it says soon email. Apple's opt-in tracking approach to Facebook and soon email. It's like no more pixels, no more cookies. Wow. But I always use a double opt-in anyway. So if you want to be on my list, you're on my list. Yeah, and I do recommend double opt-in. If they want to be there, they're gonna do it. If they don't worry about it. Move on. Um, don't beg anybody to be on your list. If you have a free gift that you want to give and people think it's valuable, they will be on your list. So you can keep receiving stuff like that you gave them. So, still not sure of what happened to Thomas. He had trouble, or I had trouble hearing him, and he said, "Be right back." But I guess we're going to go to the rabbit hole questions. So I can kill time. Let's see. Rabbit hole question. What lead generation funnels are you most attracted to right now? Let's see. I think I'm most into the challenges. Um, yeah, challenges will. Oh, Thomas came back. Let's see. Sharing screen. Uh, well, I see that Thomas is using. I finally got the okay to beta test it, but yeah, I haven't used it yet. I've been dragging my feet on that. Hey, Thomas. Oh, I still can't hear you. Hey, Steve. Steve, can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, you
Yay.
can. Okay, good.
Can you hear me, Erica?
Yes.
Okay.
Hooray.
I had to totally reboot. So it was
Oh,
my sound just went away. Gotta love computers.
yeah. Well, I'm not sure how much you guys saw, but I just went through the whole list by myself. So I'm going to start over, and let's start with Thomas's demo of Spoke.
Okay, give me just a second to get things set up because I just rebooted. So
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll ask about the first question of social media marketing. Your opinion of it. How do you do it? Is it effective? How do you know that it was effective? Stuff like that. Anybody want to take start of that?
I am. I'm very good at handling social media. I take it and I hand it over to somebody else.
there
Way
you
to
go.
delegate.
Yeah.
One day I'm going to learn how to delegate and let go of things and not try to have so much control.
Yeah. Actually, in a couple of hours, I think it is, I'm having a meeting with an agency who handles social media, and they're coming up with a full social media plan, how we're going to deal with things and what we need to do. And after approving that plan, we're going to make them responsible for executing it as well, because social media is something, if you don't do it right, you don't do it well, it'll reflect badly on you. And I don't do it well. It is just not my medium. So so I'd rather have somebody who knows what they're doing it.
It can be incredibly time consuming to do it right. That is for sure. So
Yeah.
sorry.
So how do you go about picking an agency to do all of that for you?
That's a very good question, because many agencies will be more like VAs and they don't have the strategy. So for us, it was a case of speaking to a lot of people. And when we found somebody who was starting to talk about the strategy behind social media rather than actually executing it, that's what made me interested. And today we're going to be presented with what the strategic plan is. So for me, the strategy is like, okay, we're going to do a launch. How are we going to actually position it in social media? What channels are we using? What content are we putting into those channels? And figuring all of that out. And if the agency goes, okay, so we're going to put this content here and do this, then it's not good enough. If they're saying here's the strategy of why we're doing it and why we're doing it this way and how these pieces will come together to bring us clients, then I'm much happier with that. And then we'll go ahead.
I like that.
So are they creating original content for you, or are they reposting things, or kind of a mix of things?
I'm hoping it's a mix of things, but I need to create original content as well.
Yeah. So
I would like original content too.
yeah, I've got to increase my percentage of original content. I repost a lot of technical articles in my social media for my audience, but I need to do more original stuff because I was doing some SEO stuff the other day and found that actually some of my blog posts are ranking like number one and number two on Google for certain keywords, and which kind of floored me. But so that tells me I really need to do more of that, right?
Yeah. Well, we just had someone new join our screen. Someone named Michael. Michael, can I put you on camera?
Be Mr.
Okay.
Grabo,
Woo.
back from
Hadn't
Hawaii.
seen or heard from you in a while.
I know what. Oh, I see what we've got going on here. Hold on a minute. Let me see if I can turn my camera around. That's showing my grandbaby's art here. Let's see. How do I transition my camera on this one? This is a complete new setup for you guys, huh?
Yes.
Since when did we go to Be Live?
Last Friday.
Okay. Let me see. Where can I find my camera on this one? Oh, there's camera right there. Hold on.
Well, you guys, when I got
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's okay. When I got Promo Republic, they had what was it? A program where you resell their services, and they charge like see, I want to say $250 a month, and they schedule your social media calendar. And I thought it was a nice resale, but I've never used it because I couldn't get anybody to take me up on my upsell of 500 on the price. But I thought it was a nice program. Again, I haven't used Promo Republic in a while since I started using Missing Letter, but I still think it's a nice program.
I've looked at it. I got it. I've looked at it, but some of those have concierge services. I think I use Social Bee, but they got a concierge service, but it gets kind of pricey. So I don't know what you're paying, Steve, but it just takes a little bit of money to have somebody do that. So
yeah, we don't know how much we're paying yet, so we'll see.
The meeting is today.
Yeah. Whether you grit your teeth, yeah, that's yeah.
I also saw from the owner of Cart Fuel, he was using iWork for VAs. I haven't looked through it yet, but I'm interested in finding a VA to do stuff like that. But like you said, Steve, it's not an agency, and I'm not sure if they're going to have a plan or not.
Yeah, the major problem I find with VAs is that they might have ideas, but there's no strategy behind it. So they'll go and execute the LinkedIn strategy of connecting with as many people in your space as possible. They might even come up with a strategy of we're going to connect with as many people in your space as possible. But there's no thought about, okay, so here, what are you doing with the business? What stage are you at? When are you doing your launch? What are we going to do to actually underpin the launch? Apart from just connecting with people, what content are we putting out there strategically? How's that going to support what you're doing? How are we going to drive people into your demos? How are we going to get people into your pricing page, etc.? That's what's missing with a lot of agencies and a lot of VAs. So if we can find somebody who tells us what we need to do on those aspects, that's when we have somebody we want to work with.
Yeah. When we set up the LinkedIn event page, I've seen a lot of people who have VAs go into that list of people who said they want to join your event, and they said, hey, I see that you've joined this program. I am too. And they tell a little bit about the person, why they like that person or something like that. I thought that was a nice strategy. Like you have a bunch of random people say, welcome to the event, and they join the chat, and they make posts also in that LinkedIn event. I thought that was great, but you got to get at least 5 people, I think, to join. What's your thoughts on that, Michael?
I think that it's very, very powerful to be able to utilize your VAs to be able to actually grow outside of what you can and can't do. That's one of the kind of the limiting factors for a lot of folks is they just don't want to let go of stuff. And there are so many different, yes, exactly. There's so many different organizations out there that are kind of hitting from all over the world. I mean, all over the world saying, hey, we can do it, we can do it, we can do it. And so I'm a complete agreement with Steve that, we got a lot of folks who say they can do it, but it takes some time to actually develop them. And being the training guy that I am, that's what it's all about is can you actually create a training process, and can you set your VAs up for success? by being able to be very, very clear by what is it that you want them to be able to do. Because your ultimate goal is to have a VA in such a way that can actually not so much make certain decisions, but actually keep the funnel and all the different processes moving along without you having to be able to stop and interrupt your day to be able to kind of take care of it. So what are some of the things that you've got going on? And, you know, Tom and I have worked before, and we've had some different VAs that have worked with Tom, and they're very, very successful. I mean, it can really do some really great stuff, especially when it comes to administration and also getting the appointments. But again, making sure that you know exactly what you want them to be able to do and follow through with it. And oh, by the way, don't forget to reward them. Tell them about how much you appreciate what they're doing, because appreciation is going to absolutely fuel that tank.
Yeah. I wonder if you have to do the same thing with working with an agency.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, because it's still your business, it's still what you've got going on. Any interaction that people have with your brand is going to be coming back to you. So either you take care of them either through an agency, or you take care of them as independent VAs. Absolutely got to be able to train them up. And it's when you make the assumption that they know what they're going to do, ain't gonna work.
Never assume.
No, and I love assuming, because assumptions also set me up for success when it comes to risk. So I've got to be able to look at what are my assumptions. If my assumption is that everybody thinks like me, it's a wrong assumption, you know?
Yeah.
I would also like to just add that I completely agree with you that when you have VAs who's executing your social media strategy, you've got to be able to do the training for them. You've got to be able to decide the strategy and do all of that. And what you've got to balance is the cost versus time versus effort on your part. So when you don't have the time to do the follow-up and the training, that's when you need to go to an agency. If you have the time, the inclination, and the skills to actually set up that training and knowing what they need to do, doing the VA route and controlling them directly is a great route, and it's also a low-cost route to go down. So,
good point.
I would agree with that too. So, my experience is that I tend to be on the hands-off side of things, and it really kind of burns me sometimes. It's just kind of like I tend to trust people to know what to do, and that's not a good assumption all the time. Is you set people up for failure that way, and that's not good.
Right. It's kind of the old adage that we keep leaning to our own understanding, and we're thinking that the entire world thinks like we do, and none of us think like we do. That's what's so powerful about the human race, is that we all get to bring it in. So we've got to be able to lean into that thought process is, well, wait a minute, what is it that I want that individual to do without going into micromanagement as well? So if you have some checklists, if you have some scripts, if you have some pieces to be able to help release those components, that's the best way to actually grow your business. Steve
has to go to his meeting now. So let's tell him bye.
Steve, thanks for stopping by, and we'll look for continued Event Raptor updates.
Fantastic. Yeah. It's great to join, and I'm sorry I couldn't stay longer, but I got 8 meetings booked today. So
wow.
You're a busy guy, but that's
Absolutely.
Good.
All right. Take care, everybody.
Love your project management skills.
There you go.
Bye, Steve.
Bye.
Bye.
So Thomas says that he's ready for the demo of Spoke.
If I can figure out how to share my screen here on Be Live, and hold on a minute. There we go.
Looks like you're starting to do it. I see a white square.
Yeah.
There we go. Can you see that?
Yes.
Okay. Because it's the typical going live and sharing your screen. Can you see us? Can you hear me? That's the standard.
I want to make it bigger.
And the camera facing the right direction.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. whatever can go wrong will. You just, after a while, you just get used to all the little tech. eh, Okay, now we're back. There's two ways to
Beautiful.
access Spoke. One, you can go through the website, and this is their web.
So, Michael, can you hear me?
I can hear you now,
Yay!
but
Maybe it was because our
but
camera. I hit the cameras.
I don't know what transpired. But you said you could still hear me talking over everybody, and if you look over on public, also Mark was saying that he lost audio as well.
Yeah.
So the situation that I was trying to kind of fill that gap in was, one, I'm not sure what we've got going on with being live, which is great. It's an awesome new place for us to be. But also at the same time frame, once we went into that, we could see the visual. We could see all that Tom was doing on the screen, but heard nothing. I heard nothing.
Did you hear anything, Erica, while I was talking?
Yes.
Okay. Huh. That's
We'll have to ask Mark as well, because like I said, Mark Huff put on the public comment that lost audio at 7:30.
well. Let me try one more time and
Let's do that.
yeah, and
Yeah.
we'll.
I'll leave the our cameras on, but it will be small.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what happens. Oh, I also have a question about when you're going through the video and you're highlighting stuff. Can you hear the video?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
So we can take so what we can do is we can go and we can select part of this, if you can see that,
Yes.
and we can do a clip. So although I do find that sometimes in Spoke, this is kind of a weird thing here, is that
Thomas, can we pause for a moment? Mark just came on as well, says, yet Thomas was very busy, no audio then. So, Mark, if you could let us know, can you hear us now? Would be great.
You know, I had everything on the host chat. I had completely forgot about the public chat, but it would be nice if there was a split screen where it was public and the host chat.
yeah,
Mhm.
that is
Yeah.
true.
That would be true. Wonder, and
Thank
so I
you.
went into the host where I was able to kind of try to let you know as well, and I thought you might have seen those. So,
Okay.
Okay, Mark says yes. Thank you, Mark.
Okay. So
All right. I just wanted to make sure that, and I'm fine if you guys want me to step out of here so that Thomas can actually go with that. That would be wonderful. I don't know if I can shut off my camera or not.
Why
I
you
think
can?
that was why you couldn't hear before, because I turned your camera off.
Right. But
Oh, is
Mark
that why?
said you can hear all three of us. So great.
Okay.
Okay.
And you can hear me, Mike, right?
Yes, absolutely. Right now we're loud and clear, or as we would say, Lima Charlie. How me?
Okay. Yeah, get the military terminology. Okay. Okay. So what I've done here is I've selected part of the transcription here. So I've highlighted it, and then I clicked it on Add to Summary. So what we can do is we can take sections out of here, and then and I can take this. And you can see now it'll take those two sections and just add those to a little video summary. So now we can go back. We can we can play it.
Now, Thomas, is there supposed to be audio that's coming from the spoke window?
Yeah, and
Okay.
it may not be picking up system audio.
Yep, Mark is saying no audio. That might have been why when we went to just that on the screen, that none of us heard anything, because something with the audio version on the spoke side is not connecting audibles.
It could be system audio is not playing, so so we'll have to check that out. But suffice it to say that what it's doing is it'll read. So you're hearing my voice, but you're only picking up these particular sections that I've added to the summary here.
Nice.
So you can create little video clips here, and then and then select things out, and then any corrections you make over here. So if we got a word here, you know, on this one, if we wanted effect instead of affect, then you correct it there, and it should show up in the. You can see it show up right here in the. That correction shows up in both the transcription and the captioning.
Okay.
So you can edit your transcription because obviously there's going to be some things that don't show up real well, and I can show you one of those where some stuff is like really bad on this one here. You know, right here, selenium lorry. I have no idea what that is. so, what I would do is just change that to, you know,
That was last Friday, wasn't it? How does Spoke compare, or that video Spoke compare to Perfect Recall?
I think they do similar stuff. Perfect Recall only works with Zoom, and we had that discussion last week as whether you can upload video to Perfect Recall, but you can't upload video to Spoke. So it'll actually,
I uploaded that video to Spoke. That's how I gave you the transcript.
yes, that's what I did. Although I'm not quite sure. I'm going to have to fix the orientation on this because I was using portrait orientation on my camera when I was out here at Gore Farm, but um, but you can see that I changed that, and now it shows up. It fixes that in my transcription. So there's some other. This is another one that I did. This is just a quick one here, and you won't be able to hear this, but this one actually had an intro that had a logo and everything on it, and not much sound. It actually, when I uploaded the video to Spoke, it actually stripped out that intro and started here. So so this is actually, I need to fix this. Um, so it stripped out my intro, but it played everything else and picked up everything, and it actually picked up the transcription fairly well, even considering it's there was a wind noise and it was a little noisy in this video. So and so and so so there's another, so I can go through here and I can actually edit this, and um, I tend to repeat words a lot, so I can go in here and edit all those out. So you can't, obviously it does not edit it out in the video, but it'll edit I'm not seeing anybody else.
Sorry,
Oh,
I made the pictures you were showing bigger, and Mark said the audio dropped off again. So that's
uh,
gonna be hard. I mean, I like seeing your walkthroughs, but I want to actually see the walkthrough, and I can't do that when the screen's small. So
yeah.
hopefully Mark can hear us again now.
Did Mike leave?
Yes, he had a grandbaby's
Oh, okay, I
graduation.
see. Yeah, okay. All right. Well, yeah, so this is obviously an experiment, so we're gonna have to deal with that because if you can't hear the audio and it may be something on my end where I'm not the audio settings, I can't see how to set it up to do system video. It would be system video versus input video from my mic, and that's you got to have both when you're doing something like that.
Yeah. I have my RTPM set up and it's showing on Twitch and YouTube, but it's not showing on Facebook. And I haven't checked my other channels yet, so I am not sure why that is either. But I did
I've heard
read.
there is some issues. Facebook made some changes, and I've heard there's some issues with RTMPs into Facebook recently. So
Oh,
there was a discussion on the Ecamm Live group about that people were having trouble streaming into Facebook using RTMP at this point. So
oh.
so it may not be you. That's what I'm
I was
saying.
gonna say I did read something on Be Live that said that this is beta, that it doesn't work all that well. But I using one stream, I can always go back and put that out to other channels.
Yeah. And that's and we're just kind of learning the platform here. So um, it seems to be pretty good, and the video's pretty quality is pretty good. It's just kind of getting the sound down, I think, is the challenge. So
Yeah.
technical support calls, right?
Yeah. Nuncum from Book Like a Boss was using Be Live during his showing of the new features for Book Like a Boss. Mark says he can hear us both now.
Oh yeah, and Mark suggested using loopback, and that's certainly an option here is routing the system audio in as well. And I didn't even think about that, setting that up ahead of time here. So I'll experiment with loopback and Be Live. I'll mess around with it because that certainly might help. So
This definitely gives you more experience as being a stream producer.
there's yeah, there's more to it than just going popping on and going live, or the people that do that and make it look easy have gone through all these technical glitches at one time or another, and it's just, and sometimes you just can't avoid it. It's just the internet. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Well, I'm not sure if you noticed, but I'm on the public chat now, but I did see a red light above the host chat when Michael was saying bye.
Oh
So
yeah.
I guess
So
to let you know to go over there and check it out.
I see that. Yeah. I saw that on public because I was over on host chat. So
Okay.
okay. All right. So that was kind of a truncated version of Spoke, but you kind of get the idea. And it's I think it's a decent tool. It's got some little glitches when you select the text to summarize it and dump it in there. You got to hit that, but there's this big orange button, but you got to hit it just right. And sometimes it takes me like 3 or 4 times to get it just right. And I'm experimenting with that too, but it does work. It's just, and it works better in Chrome, like most things do. I kind of have problems with that, and so, but it Spoke works better in Chrome. There's also, and I don't know if Windows has a version, but there's a desktop app you can download on the Mac anyway that lives in your toolbar where you can actually record from there, and it works pretty well for like doing voiceovers on PowerPoint presentations, and so So that worked. That actually worked pretty well. So I believe Spoke is still on AppSumo for today. I think that deal is going away pretty quickly. So it's still there if people are interested. And then it's going away. So
Yeah.
so I can see using it for different things. I'm still experimenting. You know, it's got some you know things that are unique to Spoke that you gotta kind of learn, but you can pick it up pretty quickly. It's just a matter of playing around with it. So I'm using up most of my hours this month playing around with it. So and by the time I'm ready to use it, I'll be out of hours and have to wait to recharge until next month. But the nice thing about Spoke is that it will work with any video source. So you can actually set it to anytime your camera turns on, it'll pop up and ask you if you want to record it. So I have that turned off right now, but so whereas Perfect Recall only works with Zoom, I guess.
Taker part.
What's that?
The note taker part.
Yeah, that Spoke works with any video source as long as your camera is on, you can record it. So, 3 days on AppSumo still. So, I swear
Maybe
they
if
keep
it, if
extending those things.
well, I think Mark is also a Plus member, so maybe it's 3 more days left for all the Plus members.
That could be. Yeah. So, um,
So let's go to our next question, which is strategies for email marketing.
yes.
And Mark, if you want to join in from the chat, I can display your messages.
Yeah, something that's coming up here is you know, Apple has really clamped down on the privacy thing, and there is they've got this dispute going on with Facebook where they're not allowing Facebook tracking, which has Facebook really in a panic because you got to opt into tracking, and a lot of people aren't doing that. So Facebook is kind of freaking out because the Facebook pixel you place everywhere is not doing the tracking. So Apple now is going to their mail program, which is just Apple Mail, and they are going to do the same thing there. So most email providers that we use for doing our email will actually track clicks and opens and all those analytics. But Apple, unless you specifically opt in Apple Mail, which a lot of people use that are on Macs, well, pretty much everybody on a Mac uses Apple Mail. I have some alternatives that I use, but I use Apple Mail too. You'd have to opt in, and if you don't, then those clicks and opens will not show in your analytics. So now you're sending out. I use ConvertKit, and so they track all those analytics for me. And so now, if people are opting out of that, I'm not getting good analytics. I send out an email, and I don't know how many. I don't know what my open rate is. I don't know. I don't know who clicked on it, who opened it, and that type of thing. So I don't know what's going to go on with that, but it's something that people need to be aware of. That if you're relying on those analytics, that Apple is going to kind of drive things, and a lot of times what Apple does and everybody else kind of follows along. There's actually an email program out there that they sell that I can't remember the name that actually denies tracking on emails that are sent from that program too. So it's a trend we're seeing in the business. So all these easy analytics we're getting from things may be going away. So we may have to adopt more of a generalized strategy that where we're not getting the feedback. What some people said, and then I'll shut up and let people discuss. But what people said is what you can do. It's not the same as getting all the analytics, but now you got to promote engagement in your emails or your advertisements or whatever is you have to say, okay, respond back to me, or what do you think, or provide something interesting where you're soliciting feedback from the people, so you're getting a direct interaction.
So I can no longer be a lurker in emails anymore because, yeah, I don't respond. And now if
Yeah.
I don't respond, I can't be a lurker anymore? That hurts
Well,
me.
it means your analytics aren't showing up. So if I'm sending out a bulk email to 1,000 people, say, and I know that 500 open my email, which would be a pretty good rate of 50%, then I can track that in ConvertKit. Once people start opting out of that tracking, you may be showing that you're getting a 50% open rate, but it's only on where on those people that haven't opted out of or that haven't opted into tracking. You're not seeing all that information, so your analytics are going to be off. So how do you get that information back? How do you know whether people have read your email or not? And so we're going to have to develop some strategies basically to promote engagement. So yeah, no more lurking, I guess. If you want to be, if you want to engage with people, you can't just count on them saying, okay, I opened their email and they can see that. Now they may or may not be able to see it. So once this becomes more widespread, so.
Mark's update on spoke on AppSumo. That's for all users.
Okay. I swear it was ending today, but I usually when they do their countdown, you only have so many days. They keep adding days onto it. Well, yeah, that Mark is correct. Yeah. No IP tracking. So you're not going to be able to get the accuracy of analytics unless people actually opt into that, which most people, if they give it a choice, do I want Google to track me, and know everything about my life? I don't think so. So given a choice, I'm not going to allow that. So your analytics are going to be more challenging to do, is really what it comes down to. So, yeah, I see you popped some references in there. So
I did. So I'm a big fan of Stack Marketer. I'm not sure if you know it, but they have an article on Apple blocks open rates tracking. What will it mean for marketers? We asked the experts. So I thought that was pretty neat, especially since we were already talking about it. Mark has something to say. Great content and reputation will still be the main driver for people to open your emails. Yeah, I mean, I open emails, I just don't respond to them. And well, I don't use an Apple or a Mac either, so maybe it doesn't apply to me. I'm hoping.
it doesn't apply to you yet,
Oh,
but it'll be people that are using Apple Mail can opt out, and so it will come into Apple Mail, and it will not it will not feed back into the analytics. I'm not saying I'm don't have the words right now, but it will not send that information back on. So even if you're not on Mac, anybody that's getting your email on a Mac, it will not register those opens or clicks.
yeah. What's Apple's market share? Is it half or less than half?
I don't know. Apple supposedly had around 20% or so, but I sure see a lot of Macs out there. So I don't know. And Mark's right, is that great content and reputation will be the main driver for people to open your emails, and that always holds true. But you will not be able to go back and look and see if that brilliant piece of copy you wrote really is that brilliant. Which so you may think that it's so brilliant that that you're going to get 100% open rate, but without those analytics, you won't know for sure. So you're going to have to figure out some way to get people to respond back to you or get that engagement. So we're going to have to work a little harder for that. It's really what it comes down to.
Yeah. So, I guess
Changes,
our next,
changes. Always
yeah.
changes.
Let's see. I think we already did social media marketing. So did we really cover the strategies for email marketing? Like,
We talked about the problems that we're going to potentially face. So, and a little bit about on the strategies. I mean, I can't that link you posted up. I can't click it. It's not clickable, and I can't.
oh, let's see if I can open it in see YouTube and paste it there. I'm not even sure if Mark could see it.
And I
Uh,
can't. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, I can't even copy it from here,
oh.
which is interesting. So I was going
Well,
to copy and paste it.
you'll
Weird.
have to go to YouTube. I can see it there.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe you can drop it into Troop Messenger or something. That link
Will
and
do.
yeah, but that's weird that you can't click it from here though. So
It is in Troop Messenger, but I only posted the link. I didn't say what the link was.
yeah, that's okay. Cool.
So you ready to
Well, yeah,
move on to the rabbit hole questions?
I think so. Unless Mark or you got any comments on that. Hold on a minute. Where did I go? I lost stuff here. So
Mark has a statement. Apple will also allow users to make randomized temp emails addresses. This will make your analytics even less reliable. Wow.
that is true. Now, you still can, and Apple does allow that. They'll just make it easier already. So you can, if you have like an iCloud email address, which pretty much all Apple users do, they do allow you to do temporary email addresses, and so that makes it hard. But if you're so, but the main problem with that is people signing up for lead magnets and stuff, and getting a bad email address that goes on and it
Stealing.
increases your bounce rates.
I'm going to consider that to be stealing.
Uh, it's just people value their privacy, so it's kind of like, okay, really, what it comes down to is how do we produce stuff that's good enough that they will invite us into into their busy lives, because people are busy and don't like to be tracked, and they value their privacy. So what can we do to really produce content that's useful enough to them that they will invite us into into their lives and make time for us is really what it comes down to.
Well, the rabbit hole question is what lead generation funnels are you most attracted to right now? And what you said earlier, if I made a lead magnet that you like and that you want to download, you don't want to hang out with me anymore.
Uh,
That's
no, I don't think so. But what happens is a lot of times, um, what'll happen is we go on and somewhere on a video or something, somebody has what sounds like a good lead magnet. They say, okay, I want this lead magnet for whatever reason. It sounds interesting, but I don't want to get 4,000 emails a week from this person. So I would go in my Apple Mail or iCloud and set up a temporary email address, and I log on and I dump that email address in so I can get the lead magnet, and then that email address then becomes non-functional after that use. And so I get the lead magnet, but I don't get 4,000 emails a week from that person. So that's, I think that's kind of the thinking on that is if you have people that like your stuff, then, it's, I think that's going to be fine. The other thing we talked about the other day was totally ungated content. So this may be, a way to ungated content, got some pros and cons with that, but it may be a way to force that as well, because if we have ungated content and it's still good enough, then the people that get a hold of you, you put your information in there, and then they have to choose to get a hold of you. But those are the people that may want to buy your stuff anyway. I mean, we all have email lists that have a gazillion people on there that will probably never ever buy from us ever. They're just on our list. We're emailing them. They're not opening our emails anyway, and we clean our list. But those are people that really are taking up database space, and I know that's cheap, but we're never going to get any business from them. So really, if you have a list of 25 people, but they're always buying from you, as opposed to a list of 5,000 people where nobody's buying from you, which list would you rather have? And so focus on just the numbers, I think is probably not good in that regard, because build your list. The Amy Porterfields of the world are out there, build your list, constantly pounding that. But it's the quality of the list that counts, not the number of people on the list. And so I think it may force us to be a little bit better about how we engage with people, and then only focus on the people that are going to buy from us.
So Mark says iCloud will start supporting custom domains. That, in combination with a randomized temp email address that forwards to their main real address, will be another variable to take into account.
Yeah.
Oh.
Tough.
I'm
Yeah.
not sure if I've already read that one or not, but I wanted to display just in case.
Yeah. There's some announcements out there about that, and it's, people are going to have to sort through it and develop some strategies. We'll figure it out. It's the ever-changing world of the internet, and the marketing space is, something we just live with, and you just adapt, and people value their privacy, so we need to respect that. I think that the internet has gotten awful intrusive, and Facebook and Google are the worst at that, violating your privacy, and so in a way I welcome that, even though it makes my job harder.
I would like for my lead generation to disappear after so many hours if their email address becomes invalid. Like, as soon as their email address becomes invalid, I want to be able to take back my lead gen.
Oof.
Yeah.
Well, maybe that's coming next too. So yeah. So that may be on the horizon too. Self-destructing lead magnets.
Brilliant.
Yeah. Well, you just take a screen capture. Yeah. I mean, there's ways around it. It's like people that obsess about encryption on videos and stuff, and so people can't download their videos. It doesn't matter how good the encryption is. You can still download videos from people. You just have to work a little harder at it. So there is no perfect encryption there. So it's,
how bad do you want it?
Yeah,
you want it
exactly.
bad enough to figure out how to do the screen capture?
Yeah, exactly. So I think in the long run, we got to get better about engaging with people and just not dumping stuff out there, and focus on the people that really matter to our business, and that are going to be potential customers, and not just, casting that wide net hoping to catch somebody, really looking at qualified leads, which is kind of the traditional sales method. I mean, it's kind of, if you're in-person sales, you don't have the time. So you're really focusing on qualifying that person right up front. that's going to buy you. So maybe we're getting back to the traditional stuff.
Yeah. So, what was your what lead generation funnels were you most attracted to right now, or are?
I like short help sheets types of things. I don't have time to read an ebook for the most part. I mean, I think people obsess with doing these 200-page ebooks, and yeah, I think they're useless as a lead magnet. So short articles that are bullet pointed and provide lots of useful information are really the most attractive to me. And I'm really liking right now Beacon's resource library. I know we've talked about that, but boy, that's a great tool because not only is it lead magnets you generate right in Beacon, but you can upload anything. You can upload videos or anything there to that. And so whatever lead magnets you have, you can just have them right there, and you can customize it. And I'm really liking that. And it's a heck of a deal, the price they got on it. I see that as a great tool for distributing or lead magnets and segmenting people and that type of thing. So I'm really liking that.
What do you prefer for the video lead magnets? Is it Beacon? Is it Hey Summit's Library? Or is it Vadu TV?
You can you can take your Vadu TV video and dump it right into Beacon Resource Library. So I haven't used Hey Summit, so maybe you can explain that real quick, how that works. Well, I mean, I got Hey Summit, I've used it, but I'm not sure what feature you're talking about there. So maybe you can explain that real quick.
So you can keep stuff in YouTube or Vadu or Beacon, and you put it in the library, and people will opt in to either buy it for like a year, or you can have it free, and people
Ah,
can have access to it.
yeah,
It's just a
interesting.
short price.
I don't think Beacon allows charging for things. So, but Hey Summit has something similar, and they allow you to charge for resources.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
that's nice. I'll have to check that out. So,
yeah, I like it. Haven't used it that much. I'm always saying I'm going to make a library of all of our virtual Summiteers videos. I haven't done it yet, but that would be the place I would keep it. Hey
okay,
Summit library.
okay. I will have to check that feature out because I have not really used that, and that sounds like a good way to go if you're going to charge for things. Beacon Resource Library is pretty flexible, but I don't think they allow you right now to charge for specific things. And maybe Mark can correct me if I'm wrong on that. But I think it's pretty flexible, but they don't have the pricing on there. Yeah, I wonder if you
So
could do something like that on Book Like a Boss.
probably you can have lead magnets on there, and your redirect will go to it.
Yeah,
So maybe one at a time. I'm not
yeah.
sure.
Probably not just a lump, big group of them and stuff. So, hey, Summit might be better for that.
Yeah. You could put some videos on there from YouTube. It connects to YouTube.
Yeah.
Uh,
So, what would be the advantage to using Hey Summit uh, uh, functionality over a full blown LMS if you're doing classes and things like that, or even like a la carte videos and stuff, using something like Guru Can or Heights or even some of the you know monthly paid ones like Podia.
Well, I'm impatient, so I had Hey Summit before. I had SubHub, Clastra, or Guru Can. Even though we went through that boot camp and they showed me how I could use it for classes, I didn't really get it. So, like right now, I've set up a Clastra. It's all right, and I'm working on setting up GuruCan. What I like about GuruCan is that I can it's mobile friendly. I mean, I've seen some Hey Summit videos because they store it with YouTube or Vimeo. Um, but I like that I can embed it and I can have it set for like a year. I haven't really tried setting all my other platforms up for like a certain amount of time. But I do like how I can have like different tier tickets for that content if I wanted to, and I can like set it for a certain amount of time. Those are all my things.
Okay, interesting. Um, so, uh, so maybe Hey Summit would be good for like one-off videos and stuff. If you're actually teaching a course, and something like Guru Can or another LMS might be the best way to go for where you have a bunch of courses and things like that.
Don't forget about Book Like a Boss because you can set your classes up in there too, and you can have it set for certain dates also, and
Too
you can
many
have like
choices. Choices, overlapping functionality
yeah.
is you get into analysis paralysis
It's
on
because of
what
my
to use.
AppSumo addiction.
What's that?
It's because of my AppSumo addiction. I wouldn't have this
Yeah,
problem if it wasn't for AppSumo.
yeah, exactly. But I mean, there's a lot of competition out there in the marketplace to increase functionality, which I appreciate because Book Like a Boss, uh, Dub is another former AppSumo deal where they just keep adding functionality and they take the AppSumo people along for a ride. ViewStub was one that I got that I really haven't used much, but they keep adding functionality too, and boy, they're really responsive. So I get impressed with the with the long-term deal or lifetime deals where they bring the initial investors along and don't abandon them, like we see on some of these deals. And or if they do, increase the functionality that they give you a discounted upgrade path. I respect that. I mean, it's nice to get all the features, but I understand they got to have some revenue too. But if they provide me, as an early adopter, an upgrade path to some of their latest and greatest features, then that I really like that. And they're responsive. Technical support is good. So we've seen that on some deals. We've seen that not so much on other deals. So the products I tend to adopt and use in the long run are the ones that keep improving, like Book Like a Boss, like Dub, and that they take us along and give us the features, and so those are the ones I adopt, and also the ones that I'll do affiliate links on and promote them because I know that's a good quality product, and when I promote an affiliate link, I'm just not just looking to make some money on it, but that's my reputation too if I'm recommending it to somebody. So
Yeah.
I'm not going to recommend an affiliate link unless it's something I know and I use and am happy with. So
What are your thoughts on the companies that abandoned the sumo links and then came back and apologized like 2 years later?
was that Invanto? Was that?
Yes.
Yeah, I put them on the shelf, and even though they came back, I've looked at them from time to time, but I'm still a little suspicious of them. So I've never really used it because are they gonna, I mean, they have that history, and even though they apologize, are we going to see that again? So I kind of just basically wrote them off, apology or not, and it's appreciated that they came back, that my money wasn't wasted, but I'm not sure I totally trust them to like throw my all my business on that platform when they got a history like that. So
Yeah.
it's a customer service lesson, I think, for all of us is you got to treat your customers right.
Yeah. Well, my favorite lead gen right now is challenges and week-long
Huh?
webinars for an hour. I think they both lead
E-
into
Every
a
day for
nice
an hour.
yeah.
on the same topic. So you're kind of doing so kind of a series
Yeah.
then every day. Okay, that's
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah, I like
So
that.
I really like it, but I'm wondering, since I do my weekly show every Thursday, would that make a difference if I just stuck to one topic and brought in different speakers? Or should it just be me? Like the ones I've seen have just been one person, and is their opinion on that topic. My husband and I talk a lot about people who talk about a topic, but they have a lot of fillers. And last Friday we talked about that. You guys don't care about the filler stuff anyway. And I'm always hearing that stories make good marketing, but what I'm hearing from outside the internet is they don't want any fluff. So my teachings would be very short.
See, I like that because I think that the strategy of a lot of these people that do these hour and a half sales webinars, or what they call master classes or whatever the current strategy is to me it's kind of like they're just filibustering for an hour and a half till they get to the sales pitch, and they got one or two pieces of content in there that are worth it, but more like they're trying to wear you out till so you're worn down when you get to the and I think there's a certain amount of sales psychology that goes into that, but I kind of I get down after the hour mark and I'm going, get to that freaking point. I mean, come on, where's the skip ahead button here? So
Yes.
I think that technique is overused. So I think you're exactly correct. Give them good information, keep it short and succinct, and make it useful for them, and they'll come back. We all don't have enough time, so and I get mad at these guys and say, I'll never buy from you because you just wasted an hour and a half of my life and gave me nothing for it in return, except your overpriced class. So
Yeah.
my 2 cents worth anyway. But
I agree. There is a new function on what was it? Instagram, where if you try it, it will announce to all of your lists, and the people you have on with you, it will announce it to their list also. And I wanted to try this week-long series on Instagram, just or IGTV, just to see how it would work out. Oh, that's my reason for wanting to try it.
that sounds like interesting. I don't use Instagram. My audience isn't there, so I really am not. I just know the basics, but I've never really spent much time on Instagram. So
Me either. Right now, it's all missing letter curate. So I'm letting the bots take care of that platform for me right now.
yeah,
But like
okay,
Steve says, it's not a
yeah,
real strategy. I
yeah,
just wanted to have a presence there.
yeah. I've just found that LinkedIn works best for me, and I'm going to have to go back and look at Facebook a little bit. I'm not a fan of Facebook. I just for a lot of reasons, but it's kind of I need to really go in and look at it and see if any of my target audience there is. But LinkedIn is pretty much the social media platform that works for me, and you know, uh, Instagram, I think Instagram is probably, for a younger age group than my target market. So I really haven't spent much time there. So, just like TikTok, I know TikTok exists, but I really haven't done anything with,
Set it
there's a
up,
lot of
but
different
that's as
platforms.
far as it went.
Yeah. Well, and Steve was exactly right. Is having a strategy is important, and understanding who your audience is and where they hang out, because and we've talked about this in the past, is where does my potential client base hang out on the internet, and how can I reach them? Am I spending all my time advertising on TikTok when I'll never ever get any business? the people I do business with will never, wouldn't be found there if their life depended on it. So it's kind of like, okay, that doesn't do me any good. So
I have a client who has an event coming up in July, and they let's see. Well, I can't. I had a point and now it's gone. I hate when it happens. But the next rabbit hole question was when it comes to finding your target audience. Some days it might be the wrong audience or the wrong message. How do you find clarity in finding your target audience? Yeah.
I think, you know, reaching out and seeing what they are posting about, and what the questions are, doing some SEO, doing keyword searches, really gives me some clarity on what people are looking for, and um, it's doing that analytic and SEO stuff and keyword research is boring in my mind, but it's also very, very instructive for me. Uh, it helps me see who my competition is. It helps me see what people are looking for, especially tools that kind of link similar keywords together or give you suggestions. So um, it can be time consuming, but that gives me clarity. And the other thing I would say is consistency, which I am awful at, is having a consistent, getting your clear message and then being consistent at delivering it. And I'm awful at that. And that's really my downfall. I got a part-time marketing guy that works with me, and that was a topic of discussion, is how do we get more consistent? Because I mean, I'll do stuff. I'll do, I've done classes for years, in-person classes, and I get this list of people that are basically sitting in my class for 6 hours in a day, and they're engaging with me and stuff, and then I don't follow up consistently. So you're just like wasting that time and effort you put into that, and um, so you got to be you got to be clear, and you got to be consistent, and those, the two C's, I guess. There's probably a third C we can make it to come up with a nice little meme on that, but we'll have to work on that.
I spoke with Doc Williams yesterday and I asked him the same question, and he says it's all about segmenting your list. He said he went through about 18 different categories just to find his target audience, and it really helped when he started to. He has a book like a boss page, and it says he's only taking on serious clients. There's like 5 or 6 questions, and you got to be willing to spend this amount of money with me, and you got to be willing to show up consistently. And I can't remember everything else, but oh, that point I was trying to make about the client in July is that LinkedIn, I love the LinkedIn event pages. So when
And they
they're
work.
working with kids, but he said he didn't want to work with put out anything on LinkedIn because it's kids. But I'm thinking kids have parents and parents hang out on LinkedIn. So yeah, that was my strategy for that. But it was over their head. So I guess we have, I'm not sure if we have time for one more rabbit hole question or if you want to wrap up. It's 11:27 where I am.
Let's back up a little bit to what Doc Williams said about the segmenting your lists, and explore that in a little bit. I know we're getting ready to wrap up here, but I was just curious as to how he did how he distinguished his segments.
Okay. Yeah, as far as I know, it was just with that book like a boss page when he goes into like Reddit groups or Facebook groups and he talks to people, if they reach out to him, or if they download one of his lead magnets and they reach out to him, that form really gets rid of a lot of people.
Yeah. Well, and the Beacon resource page will allow you to do that. It allows you to link to your, like ConvertKit or your email. So you can, depending on what lead magnet they download, you can dump them into your email list with a specific tag, and that allows you to segment. So that's
Cool.
that's a good thought, actually. Okay, I was just was looking for a little clarity on that. So okay, last rabbit hole question.
All right. So, what is it about your favorite online community that made you want to join? AppSumo just put out a new group called The Sauce, and it's on Tribe, and I joined right away.
Yeah.
So, I think I joined because I'm a fan of Noah's. Noah has a Slack group, and he says it's secret. And since he does a lot of bad words that my son likes to repeat, I can no longer really listen to him. So I feel like I'm missing out. And
Yeah, between Noah and Gary Vaynerchuk, it's kind of like, yeah, profanities are a way of life. Yeah, and
I mean,
unfortunately, yeah,
Church words doesn't look too good coming from a 6-year-old. So
nope,
no.
nope, it doesn't. Nope, I totally get that. So I don't want to hear it either personally, but anyway. Um,
I
so
tease you about words only have the meanings that you assign to them, but yeah, I can't really say that to my 6-year-old.
yeah, well, I do kind of. I do my business groups, but I also do some different groups around, and Circle seems to have been slowly working its way into and replacing Facebook for a lot of people. I do. I have, Hey Summit has a group on Circle. Copy Blogger has a group on Circle. I do because I'm a farm guy, so I got Melissa Norris's Pioneering Today group is on Circle. So there's a number of, and actually Steve Erickson's got a group on Circle now. So we're seeing more groups going on Circle, and it's kind of interesting because I wish Circle had an app that would be on your desktop, but because it's all online and browser based. But the fact that I can go to Circle and then switch quickly between my groups reminds me a little bit of Slack, and but it's a little more organized. So it's got a little ways to grow to go join, but and I'm kind of talking more an umbrella type of. It's not a specific online community, but it's the platform Circle. But I'm seeing a lot of my online communities that are going to Circle. So I
Are
still
you going
think
to start a
Tribe.
circle group?
What's that?
Will you start a circle group?
I don't know. I mean, I still want to do Tribe, but I'm kind of waiting to see if they're going to stick with the AppSumo people, because I'm getting bad vibes from them that they're rolling out this 2.0 upgrade, but the AppSumo people are being delayed on being able to adopt that, and I'm kind of getting some bad vibes there that they may not be taking us along for the ride. So I don't want to invest a lot of time. I really like the Tribe platform. It's, the trick is getting some critical mass and something like that, whether you do Circle, whether you do Tribe or something else, Mighty Networks. It's building up critical mass, and that's part of it. So but Tribe has a lot of potential, but I just want to see what they do for AppSumo people before I invest any more time in that.
Understand.
So Circle, but I think Circle, most people are paying for it. It's not free like Slack was. Well, Slack had free and paid versions, but Circle, I think you got to pay to use it. So I'm not sure on that, but I know I see a lot more people going to Circle now, so it's kind of the hot thing.
I started my community on Facebook, and I thought anyone who was interested would move with me to Tribe. But I haven't really been able to build up that group yet. I started it sometime in January, and right now it has like 85 members. I am grateful for the 85 people who decided to hang out with me. But I think it feels like I've reached a plateau. So I'm not really sure how to reach more members. I don't want to try to convince anybody to join. I want them to join because they want to. So, and the
So,
same when I asked them to move to Tribe.
so what happens if you combine your challenge lead magnet with getting them on Tribe? So you run a challenge on Tribe and you promote that. So it might get them so many posts, and we got leaderboards and stuff like that, and so many posts, or start a group or whatever, and so you create a challenge and do that on Tribe. Would something like that work, maybe?
I like that idea. I do like the challenge models.
Yeah, I haven't used them much, but I could see that as a great potential for that. So
Yeah. Um, what's his name? Ryan Levesque has a quiz funnel challenge. That's how I got the idea of going into groups and finding typing in your niche, like events or online events, whatever, and finding the post that has the most comments. Like he says, you're looking for 100 or more, and you put your 2 cents in that, or you put your quiz in that, and everybody that has posted before will get a message that there's a new post. That's why you're looking for 100 or above, so you can have the attention of that many people. So
uh,
I think that was a brilliant idea, but I don't want to spam the groups. I do want to give value. I do have lead magnets, but I'm not sure on. I think my lead magnets are valuable talking about events, but I'm not sure if that's considered spamming a group since you're putting a link in there.
it depends on the group. Some groups are more sensitive to others than that. Some just don't allow you to self promote at all, and others, it's got to be have some value. So it really depends on the group, and I think whatever you do, if you post it up there several times a day, then it's more likely to be considered spam than if you just post it every now and then. Um, and especially if you're running like a challenge. This week we're running a challenge, and this is how the challenge will benefit you. It's like jumpstarts your live show, and this is a challenge to do that, and we're doing it inside Tribe here, and we're going to have some stuff every day to kind of help you jumpstart this. And so people that are in that space then say, I really need somebody to hold me accountable, because and that accountability factor is really what plays into a challenge. Is it gets people off their duff and holds them accountable for meeting goals over a short period of time, and you can do that sprint. It's you don't have to do the marathon. You can do the sprint, down to the end of the block, and people find that they can do that. But if you're doing a challenge that runs 6 months, then people are seeing that as a marathon and going, "Oh my gosh, I can't do that." So it's a 5-day challenge. I think is an awesome period of time, and you can support that with your 1 hour a day video, and as part of here's your challenge update, or your challenge for today, the next step in the process, and then you can run that inside Tribe, and so kind of both pull the whole ecosystem together. Just off the top of my head, that's kind of what might be one way to approach it anyway.
I like that. Sounds brilliant to me.
Brilliant, maybe, but I don't know. It's an idea
Now
anyway.
you
So
need to execute. So
a little brainstorm, yeah. So I'm writing it down for myself anyway. So now that I came up with it, it's kind of like, okay, maybe I can do that myself. So
Well, good
So,
thing this is being recorded. So yeah. Also, when you go back, either put it in the spoke and take this part out and make a lead magnet out of that, because yeah, I do think it's brilliant.
yeah. Okay. Well, just we're just bandying around some ideas here for folks, and hopefully we'll catch an audience here, and can start to get some questions in and help people that way too, and kind of give us a little more cannon fodder to talk about, I guess.
Yeah, so people who are watching live or recorded, put in the comments, do you like this format of the mastermind? Do you have any questions for the mastermind? Let us know.
Yeah, topics for the future. We'll cover most anything on events and SaaS and software and AppSumo deals. And if you want to talk about that, just let us know, and we're happy to dive in.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I really do think communities fit well with events. That's why I brought it up today.
I agree.
Well, Thomas, I'm gonna have to say goodbye because it's over our usual time.
Okay. Well, you have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week. Bye,
Yeah.
everybody.
Bye.